Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime, and it is time to talk about how to get free star powers faster. Then I'm going to give you guys 6 other tips that could help you max out your account sooner as well. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you may be familiar with some of these tips, but I recently ran a poll asking how many star powers people have, and I was actually really surprised to see that 60% of my viewers still do not have a single star power. So I wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of the best way to get free star powers sooner, because 60% is a lot lower than I feel like it should be. Now, there are basically 2 ways that you can get a star power. The first is to purchase it from the shop with 2,000 gold, and the other is to get it as a lucky drop from Brawl boxes. Now, I know that there's only a 1% chance to get a free star power from every box, but that's just out of 1 box. By my estimate, you should get more than half of your star powers as drops throughout the duration of your progress. But you have to follow my advice in this video in order for that to actually happen. Now, it will take a little bit of planning and some patience in order for you to accomplish this, but you can greatly speed up your progression if you follow these tips. Absolutely fundamental to all of this is that in order for you to get a free star power, one of your brawler has to be at level 9, and you want to be able to start unlocking these free star powers sooner than later, because for every free star power that you get, that will actually save you over 2 weeks of progression time. So my first tip is to focus on upgrading one brawler to level 9 as soon as possible, even if it means sacrificing progress on your other brawlers in order to make this happen. Now, typically I would recommend actually upgrading all of your brawlers like fairly evenly, but this is the exception. You absolutely want to upgrade one brawler to level 9 as quickly as possible. I recommend picking the highest power level brawler who is closest to leveling up to the next level, and basically what you're going to do is select that brawler and then always buy PowerPoint offers for that brawler that show up in the shop. Every single time. Do not buy PowerPoint offers for other brawlers, only for that one brawler. Now, it's also important that you do not spend gold on upgrading your other brawlers, so that you will always have enough gold to buy the power points for your chosen brawler and also to upgrade it. After you have one brawler to level 9, it is now possible for you to get that free star power, and then you can start spending gold on your other brawlers. Now, it is very important that you do not save up the 2,000 gold and buy that star power for that brawler once he or she is at level 9. It'll take a little bit of patience, but you will get a free star power, and you need that extra gold in order for you to upgrade other brawlers to level 9 so that you can, I guess, in a way, like, cheat the system. It's not really cheating, it's just like taking advantage of the system. Now, if I were a clickbait YouTuber, I would call it hacking the system, but, you know, me, clickbait. Okay, let's move on. Now, the players that buy star powers when they don't have 2 or more brawlers at level 9 will take longer to progress, and you do not want that to be you. At this point, you should start saving up gold and power points to get a second brawler to level 9. Chances are, by the time you have a second brawler at level 9, you will already have gotten 1 and possibly even 2 free star powers for your first brawler from boxes. This really does work, guys. Now, I know that 1% drop rate for a star power seems really low, but I actually recently opened up 130 boxes when Tick was released, and I unlocked 2 free star powers within that time frame, and I know several people that unlocked even more than that. Now, let's talk about some other tips to help you progress faster in Brawl Stars. Tip number 2 is to know how to make the best use of your tickets for special events. No matter which event mode is going on, it is always worth it for you to play at least once for the star token for a ticketed event. This is true because the star token is the equivalent of 30 tokens, so even if you lose the easiest boss fight, you still have positive token, so it's beneficial. If you're serious about progress, after you play big game once, you should not spend any more tickets on that event. That event's just like if you want to have some fun with it, but you get the idea. Even if you do incredibly well, big game is not worth it, at least not as much as a Robo Rumble is. Now, for boss fight, you should play it until you think that you will not win the next round. After that, it's not really worth it for you to keep playing unless you're like playing with like really good players that can guarantee a victory. The best place for you to consistently spend your tickets is in Robo Rumble. Ideally, you can get a good team together and try to reach 6 minutes and 15 seconds for the maximum time reward of 32 tokens per ticket. That's the mark. That's when you know you've made it in Brawl Stars. Tip number 3 is to know how to spend your gems. Now, if you're a gemmer like myself, this will help save you some money, and if you're a free-to-play player, this will help maximize the gems that you get for free. If you're like the big spender, then it doesn't really matter, but you know, you get the idea. Most people aren't like that. Now, aside from the specials in your shop, the most effective way for you to spend your gems is on rolls of tickets, which cost 80 gems and give you 60 tickets. This is the most cost-effective way if you are using your tickets in Robo Rumble and get 27 tokens per ticket or more. If you can do this consistently and you are a gemmer, I recommend buying the roll of tickets every single weekend, since you're limited to buying them once a week and then saving them for Robo Rumble when it comes up. However, if you cannot consistently get 27 tickets or tokens per ticket, then you're better off spending your gems on token doublers. Token doublers do take a little bit more of patience because, you know, you buy it for boxes and, you know, over a longer period of time, but they do actually offer 38% more value than spending your gems on mega boxes. Unless you were a heavy spender, I wouldn't recommend buying mega boxes at all. I mean, unless you're going to spend like $1,000 to open up a bunch of mega boxes to max out an account for Brawl Stars, which I do not recommend doing that. I literally did make money off of that video, so like don't do that. You get the idea. Yeah, don't do that. Unless you really want to support Supercell, then maybe you can do it. Now, that said, every now and then a special does come along in the shop that actually is worth it. If you can ever buy a mega box for 50 gems, that's a good deal because it's like instantly getting all the rewards from a token doubler immediately. If you can get a mega box special for less than 50 gems, that's even better. If you ever see ticket specials or token doubler specials that are cheaper than what's in the shop, those are the best value. And if you were a gemmer, I would always buy those. If you were a free-to-play player, I would save your gems for when those actually come up in the shop and use them then. Tip number 4 is to not buy the new brawler specials for gems, where you can just straight up buy a brawler for gems. Every now and then you will get a special in the shop where you can just buy a brawler for a certain number of gems. There is only one situation where I think it is actually worth it for you to do this, no matter what the rarity of the brawler is. But unless you are a big spender, you are better off using your gems elsewhere. Let me explain why this is by actually talking about legendary drop rates. In any given box, there is a tiny chance that you will get a legendary brawler. The actual chance goes up the more boxes that you open that do not contain a new brawler, so I can't give you an exact number for yourself, but you can actually check it in the shop by doing this and then looking right here. Now, what you have to remember is that even though there might be like a 1 in 300 chance that you will get a legendary in your next box, that does not mean that buying a legendary from the shop will actually save your progress by 300 boxes. All it takes for you to get a new brawler is just one box. Spending 500 gems to buy a legendary brawler is like spending 500 gems on a single box. You could instead spend 500 gems on token doublers and get 100 boxes, which is way better value. Now, while you might not get a legendary out of those 100 boxes, there's a decent chance that you will, but additionally, you won't be missing out on all of the gold and the power points that you would miss out if you had just spent your gems on buying a new brawler. The reason why this is true is because Brawl Stars Progression is made specifically so that you will eventually get everything in the game, as long as you are playing at a faster rate at which they're actually releasing new game content, which, you know, that's a whole other debate, but you guys get the idea. Eventually you'll reach end game content. Now, this is why this actually works out. Once again, if you go back into the shop, it says once you have unlocked all rewards of a certain type, the probability to get all other rewards increases. So what that means is that after you unlock all of the rare, super rare, epic, and mythic brawlers, your chances of unlocking a legendary are actually much higher. At that point, it is better for you to keep spending gems to get those golds and power points that you need to max out your account instead, because eventually you will get that legendary brawler. Now, there is one exception to this rule. If your account is completely maxed out, aside from unlocking a legendary or like the last mythic brawler, depending on how much you are willing to gem, it might be worth it for you to just buy it because your account's already maxed out, and just opening boxes is a waste because it just gives you gold that you can't spend on anything. And when I do say completely maxed out, I mean all of your characters are level 10, you have all of their star powers, or you have enough gold to buy all of their star powers, and, you know, just opening boxes is a waste because it's just giving you a bunch of useless gold. Now, by that point, most players will naturally unlock all of the brawlers anyway, but there is a small chance that you could have every brawler max aside from a missing legendary. In this situation, because the drop rates for legendaries and mythics are so incredibly low, it actually might be worth it for you to buy the brawler instead of waste your boxes. The next time Supercell releases a new legendary brawler, this is exactly what I'm going to do. because last time I tried to get Leon, I opened up over 500 boxes and I didn't get him, and it was just a total waste. Tip number 5 is to not buy skins with gems. Now this tip is a little bit of a personal preference. It's also kind of like a, well duh, Kairos tip, but obviously if you're a free-to-play player, gems can be better spent on speeding up your progression. And if you're going to spend 150 gems on a skin as a gemmer, those 150 gems could instead be used toward 3,000 token doublers, which would speed up your progression by 30 boxes. Like I said though, this tip is a little bit more like personal preference. Some people might consider it worth it to not progress faster just so they can use that cool new skin. And don't tell Lex I said this, but skins do not equal wins.
Silly Kairos.
Tip number 6 is to never leak token rewards. You should know that you can earn a maximum of 200 tokens every day from playing the game. The token bar fills 20 tokens every 2 hours and 24 minutes, and this translates to 200 tokens every 24 hours. If you do not play after 26 hours and 24 minutes, you start to leak token rewards, meaning that you actually miss out on tokens every 2 hours and 24 minutes after not playing for those 24 hours. To fix this, all you need to do is make sure you claim your tokens at least every 24 hours. And it might sound like a small thing to like miss some tokens here or there, but they do actually add up after a while. And of course, as a bonus tip, make sure you actually do get that win for every star key, like every day. There are 4 possible ones that you can get a day, and then on the weekends there's a 5th, so like, yeah, make sure you get those as well. Like I said, each star token is essentially the equivalent of 30 tokens, so you don't want to miss out on it. Tip number 7 is to push your brawlers to rank 20 as quickly as possible. This tip might also sound like a no-brainer, but every time you push a brawler to a new rank, you earn extra tokens that can be used to open up your next box that might actually help you unlock the next brawler, which helps you progress even more. If you can push 10 brawlers up a rank, that's another free box. If you can push all 27 brawlers up to rank 20, that's an extra 54 boxes, and that definitely adds up. Additionally, it helps you climb higher in the trophy road, which will help you unlock more brawlers, more boxes, etc., etc. You guys get the idea. Just the progression just steamrolls from there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it might be a little bit of a recap for some of my long-term fans, but the fact that 60% of my viewers do not have a single, not even 1-star token, means that a lot of them are not following these tips, or they're just not actively playing every single day. And I understand not having the active lifestyle to be able to play every single day, but if you are actively playing every single day since the game was released and you do not have a star token or a star power, then now's the time to change your habits and get one, because it's about time, guys. Anyways, guys, go ahead and put your questions down below if you do have any. I'll do my best to try and answer them if if enough people are asking the same question. For now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.